NAB. I know most of the people in the room, but for those of you that don't know me, I'm Nick Rashby, the president of AJA. It's been a very busy year for AJA. These are all the products that we have announced and shipped since last NAB. So not including last NAB, these are all things that have happened after. So been a very, very busy year for us. Some very significant products like new Key Pro Ultra, which is our 4K 60p recorder, FS3, HEVC encoding cards, just tons and tons of stuff. So we've been on this very aggressive product development schedule, and we've been hitting it basically every calendar quarter. We're pumping out significant new products to our customers. So it's been a great year. This NAB is definitely another busy one for us. Last June at Infocom, we got into the HD-based T game. We started a line of HD-based T converters, great technology, mostly for Pro AV and integration. Some of our solutions are now seeing their way into broadcast, like RovoCam, which is the first HD-based T Ultra HD camera. So lots going on this technology for us. A missing link in our customers' workflow was control. And we wrote a new application that's our first piece of NAB news, which is called RovoControl, and it's control software for the RovoCam camera. Lots of functions. The camera actually has tons and tons of features and control options, and RovoControl controls them all, from zoom and all the optical stuff to resolution to noise reduction, all with user presets. Really nice piece of software. We've been working hard on it. Here's a look at different screens. So every function of the camera, very simply laid out, but lots and lots of controls. One screen I wanted to point out in particular was the camera has this EPTZ feature, electronic pan, tilt, and zoom. So where you can extract an HD region from an Ultra HD frame and move it around and zoom it. Very nice feature, especially for security people, broadcasters as well, so you don't miss the action. Very, very cool feature of the camera. So basic layout, the software is Mac and Windows compatible. And there's a companion mini converter for the RovoCam called the Rovo RX HDMI. And when you have that installed, you get video out of the camera to local devices. HD-based T allows you to carry uncompressed Ultra HD and video, and audio, power, and control over one category Ethernet cable up to 100 meters. So really easy technology for people to integrate. We've actually had some really big wins at stadiums and other types of customers that appreciate not only the image quality, but the ease of the integration, just running one cable. So RovoControl just allows simple control of the camera from a great distance. RovoControl is free and available to any of our RovoCam customers. They just go to our website and download it next month. Our next bit of HD-based T news is we have a new PCIe card called Corvid HBR. It's a HD-based T PCIe input card. So it's an HD-based T receiver. There is an HDMI output so you can locally monitor what you're doing, and it's a 4-lane PCIe card. So you can create very simple integrations with your own software or with RovoCam on Windows and Linux to any HD-based T device, and certainly with ours as well, including RovoCam. Corvid HBR is $995 and is available next month as well. We're just getting started. Got a lot to talk about. Don't start packing up. UTAP are two new products for us. They are USB 3.0 capture devices for Mac, Windows, and Linux. What's unique about them is there's no drivers to install. They use drivers that are inherent in each one of those operating systems, in Mac, in Windows, and Linux. There's something called UVC and UAC, USB video class and USB audio class. So there's nothing to do except plug this thing in. And it's bus powered from the USB port. It's uncompressed up to 1080p capture and tons of software compatibility, which I'll talk about in a second. So here's the business ends of them. The SDI version has a loop out. The HDMI version doesn't. And both are powered by USB 3.0. And these are tiny little boxes. They're about this big. So a very simplistic way to how to use them is video in, plug it into a Mac, Windows, or Linux computer, and start capturing. It kind of just looks like a webcam to the OS because it's using these drivers that are built into the system. So it says, oh, there's a video device, sure, I can use it. It's just one cable. So, and again, couldn't be easier because of the no drivers, no power, nothing. Plug and play compatibility with a list of applications that might seem a little different for AJA, but ones that are being used by our customers all over the planet, right? I mean, Skype is being used for broadcast these days. And so anything that kind of has this webcam kind of hooks into the OS will just plug and play work with the UTAPs. Streaming, conferencing, graphics, even editorial, tons of applications out there. This is just really a small section of the applications that will just work with the UTAPs. A really nice feature is they have, both units have a hardware scaler, so you can match incoming video resolutions to non-video resolution computer resolution. So, for example, 1920 by 1080 input, you could scale to 1024 by 768 on the way in. That gives you greater compatibility with a wider range of software. It also allows the user to use these on a system that might not have the horsepower to do full 1080p 60 capture. So you could scale it down, have less bandwidth coming into the system. So really nice feature. The UTAPs, great price, $345 each, and they're available next month. I think this is going to be a real sleeper product for us. We even throw in a USB cable because we're just nice guys. This is big news for us. This is the Hilo, which is an H.264 streaming and recording box. What's nice about it is you can stream and record simultaneously. It's a standalone box, so it's not like an encoding box that has to be hooked up to a computer. It's an appliance that stands by itself. You can record USB drives, SD cards. There's a web-based UI, so any web browser can control it. Also push-button controls, 3G SDI and HDMI input and output, and because it's 3G, up to 1080p 60 support. Here's the front and back. So there's two dedicated buttons, one for streaming, one for recording. So it couldn't be easier, just go boop and start either one of those operations. And I wish it made that noise when you did, but excuse me. A rental house or a customer like that could configure the box with all of the LAN settings, with all of the resolution settings, the compression settings, unplug it, give it to a client, they go on site, plug it in and push that button, and it'll remember all of those settings. So really easy to use, very flexible. And then of course the connectivity for hosting external storage and SD cards. Excuse me. The back panel, lots of connectivity as you would expect from AJA. Both of the video outputs are active all the time, so you can drive to external devices whenever you need to. It uses our standard power supply that we use on our mini converters, which I'll talk about more in a second. So a good little overview of how powerful this little box is. Let's just say you take in video or audio over HDMI or SDI. Simultaneously, you could drive external devices. Simultaneously, you could record to USB drives and SD cards. Simultaneously, you could write to a network share. And simultaneously, you could stream up to the cloud to a CDN, which is then going to deliver cat videos to the entire planet. So that's all simultaneous workflow. So really a lot going on in this little box, and it's not very big. Really, really powerful. Hilo uses standard H.264 files, so MPEG-4 and ABC compliant, regular old H.264 files for great compatibility. We get bit rates up to 20 megabit per second. They are independent, the stream and the recorder independently configurable, so one could be a lower bit rate, one could be a higher bit rate. So you could be recording a low bit rate and streaming that up. You could be recording a higher bit rate and to a drive and give it to someone or vice versa. Excuse me, good morning. It has a web browser UI that's served up directly from the box. Any web browser will use it, just like so many of our Aja products that have this web browser type control, which is really popular with our customers. Gives you complete control and configuration. Very, very easy to use, very easy to understand. No software to install on any computer. It's very small and portable. It uses our wide operating range power supplies that we have in our newer mini converters. It uses our power supply that is shipped with all of our mini converters around the world, which also includes international plugs. Because it has this operating range, it means it can be run on 12 volts as well. And we actually make cables like one to that connector to P-tab. So you could use this on a camera, you could use it with any battery system, really. So very, very flexible little box. Not just plug it into the wall, but 12 volt power it as well. Hilo is $1,295 and will be available soon. We're really happy about this. This is our first H.264 box, and we've been working very hard on it, and I think we've come up with something that's really powerful and flexible. This past year, we also introduced our first open gear products. There's actually a few more that are not on there, but we have a frame, we have a whole line of cards that we started shipping. We have 2 more for this show. Based on customer requests, we have an embedder disembedder that's 3G SDI capable for $800, and that ships this week. We have another one that is a 2x4 SDI DA. It's 3G SDI compatible. It's reclocking, very high AJA quality product. That's $550 and available this week. It's either 2 1x4s or 1 1x8. You can configure it either way. Just gotta fly through this because we have tons of products to talk about today. HTP3 is a new mini converter. As you can tell by the name, there's been 2 previous ones. This is the latest iteration, and what's new about it is, excuse me, 3G SDI input support, which means, of course, up to 1080p 60 support. A bit more audio support when using adapters to HDMI, and a bit more control when using our own mini config software. So iterative, but solving a lot of customer problems. It's $695, available now, and it replaces the previous HTTP2, which is now end of life. Another mini converter. We do love our mini converters at AJA. This is a new Hi-5, which has been just a massively popular product line for us. We can't build some of them fast enough. We have a Hi-5 4K. This one is the Hi-5 4K Plus. So what's different about it is it has more support for HDMI 2.0. So it's a 3G SDI to Ultra HD HDMI adapter box. So now we have support for Ultra HD up to Ultra HD 60p at 422 and 444. So tons of bandwidth in this thing, as well as some additional controls and such. It is priced at $695. We'll be shipping next month. The Hi-5 4K is still available for $100 less for our customers that may not need the kind of horsepower in the Plus. All right, here's a significant piece of news for us. We have a new frame sync. We have a family of products called FS, and this is the latest one called FS4 that we're introducing here at the show. It is a 1RU frame sync and converter. It's 1 channel of 4K or Ultra HD, or 4 channels of 2K, HD, or SD, and I'm going to talk more about that. Up-down cross conversions, even in 4K, and a full suite of FS features. Our boxes do a ton of stuff, and this one does as well. Really, the big news about this is in one package, you're getting either 4 channels of HD or 1 channel of 4K. Redesigned front panel, as opposed to our other FSs. This one has a lot more buttons on it. The button count has gone way up. People like buttons. It actually, because this box has so much going on, it allows engineers to quickly get to the features that they want without drilling into menus. So a lot of thought went into the front UI on this box. Here is the business end of the box. Somebody's scrabbling around back there. Here's the connectivity. Tons of connectivity as usual from AJA and on our FS products. So there's MADI audio on coax and fiber in and out. There's AES EBU. There's embedded audio in and out. There's SDI fiber, 3G SDI. There's dedicated monitor outputs that are always on, so you can drive an SDI and HDMI display no matter what mode you're in. Lots of connectivity. These SFP options, we've had the 3G SDI fiber and CWDM options. We actually introduced those last NAB, for a lot of our products. And we have new ones that support 12G SDI and 6G SDI on the FS4, and we're selling those to our customers that may want 12G either fiber or copper connectivity on this box as well. So lots of flexible connectivity. You don't necessarily have to charge people for things they don't need. Make it a bit modular, and if they do need that connectivity, it's available to them. So let's look at how the box works. In one channel mode, in this 4K mode, a lot going on. So it's basically any resolution into any resolution out. It's up conversion, cross conversion, and down conversion from any resolution to any resolution. So if I want to bring in SD and convert it to 4K, I can do that. If I want to cross convert Ultra HD to Academy 4K, I can do that. If any combination of these things. Very, very, very powerful in this mode. Beyond conversions and frame sync, it also has a lot of features that are really going to help out Ultra HD and 4K workflows, like physical layer conversion from coax to fiber, link conversion, so you could convert 12G to 3 gig, etc. Two sample interleave, converting it back and forth to quadrants. And I know that's a hackneyed term, but I couldn't come up with anything better about it being a Swiss Army knife, because this thing really does a ton of stuff. So the 4-channel mode, the 2K mode or the HD mode, it's pretty self-explanatory. So if you're familiar with our FS products, they're frame syncs. They do up-down cross from SD, HD, and 2K. So you basically have 4 of those in this one RU box now. So you can bring in any resolution up to 2K and convert it and frame sync it and do all kinds of image manipulation. It's just jam-packed with the features that our FS products are known for and our customers rely on, like frame rate conversion. We have a region of interest, scaler, color corrector, legalizers, closed captioning support, test generators. These boxes do a ton of stuff, and FS4 is no exception. Tons and tons of audio going on in this box. So 272 by 208 audio matrix of possible ins and outs. A real sleeper feature on this box is every single one of those inputs has sample rate conversion on it. So a very, very flexible and powerful audio box as well. Just strictly for that capability alone, it's worth the price. It does have our browser-based control, so it has a web server in it, serves up to any web browser. That also enables automation with external software, SNMP integration, and more. So here's a look at screenshot of in the 4K mode, on a web browser, what it serves up. Pretty straightforward, looks like our other web browsers, but lots of control in that single channel mode. Here's a screenshot of it in the 4-channel mode. What's nice is you actually have all 4 channels on one web page ready to be configured. So not a lot of hopping around from tab to tab, complete control, and a really simple and straightforward but powerful interface. FS4 is the culmination of years of work for us. Well, not exciting. We sell truckloads of these things, and they're an integral part of broadcast infrastructures around the world, and customers have been asking for the density that FS4 has, as well as the flexibility to help customers bridge their HD workflows to Ultra HD delivery as well. FS4 is just under $5,000 and is available starting in June. We have it in beta sites at certain high-end customers right now, getting shaken out. It joins the family of FS products. Recently at IBC, we introduced the FS3, which is an Ultra HD up converter. So we've been very aggressive on sort of these big iron infrastructure products that we're known for. Because of that price, it was a great opportunity for us to adjust the pricing on the rest of our FS family products. So the FS2, which is a 2-channel frame sync, has a $1,000 price drop, $500 on the rest. The FS3, which I just mentioned, which is just a few months old, remains at its really good price of $3,000. Excuse me. We have some Scion news. Our Scion is a 4K production camera that we introduced a few years ago, and some beautiful work being done on Scion. Based on customer feedback, we have a new version 1.3 firmware that really enhances some of the image pipeline. You will see a visual difference in the highlight handling, in recovering information from blacks and shadows in every gamma mode. And we also took the opportunity to rename our gamma modes, which customers were telling us were a little non-standard. Some of them they couldn't quite remember what expanded one is. So we renamed it to Cine, just trying to make things easier for customers and keep iterating and helping them work faster and more effectively. So here's a few screenshots, the previous firmware and the new firmware. It's hard to see on a projector, but there is a visible difference. We realized we really like cats and watches at Aja, because it seems like every Scion thing we have is cats and watches. But it's really nice firmware. It's a really nice upgrade, and it is free for all of our Scion customers, and it's available next month. It's in hands of customers right now getting final shakedown. The PAC 1000 is 1 terabyte media for the Scion and for other Key Pros. We have a promo that's starting today. Any customer that buys a Scion, a new Scion, will get one for free, and it's worth $1,500. So, and this is the media that 99% of the customers are choosing when they buy a Scion because of the capacity and the performance. It's very, very fast SSD storage. This is direct to Aja from the end user. So they buy a camera, they go to that website, that URL at our website, plug in some information, we send them a PAC 1000 directly. So really nice promotion. Our channels seem to like that a lot. So KeyPro Ultra is our Key Pro that we introduced at Interby. I mentioned it in the beginning. It's 4K 60p capable. Really, really nice box. Been extremely successful for us, and every month we're seeing it grow and grow. And since November, we've already had 2 firmware upgrades for it that are significant, not just bug fixes, but feature adds. We have a new firmware upgrade here with longtime customer requests on the Key Pro side, exFAT file system support. So all the Key Pros currently use HFS Plus, which is native to the Mac. We now have added, in addition to HFS Plus, exFAT support, so very easy cross-platform media now. 16-channel embedded audio. We have closed captioning, reading and writing. It's metadata in the file. It's not a goofy sidecar file or anything. And we have SMPTE 2SI support to expand integration and compatibility with other 4K devices out on the market. It's a free upgrade, and it's available next month. Really, really nice. And of course, KeyPro Ultra is a ProRes powerhouse. We were the first to do ProRes in hardware many, many years ago. We continue to love this codec, as do our customers. We also have customers that have a need to use Avid codecs. And here we're talking about our schedule to release on KeyPro Ultra. So in Q3 of this year, we're going to have DNX HD. In Q4, we're going to have DNX HR, which would be a first for us. And both have MXF support. And this will be a free upgrade for anyone that owns a KeyPro Ultra. So we're sort of telling our customers, don't worry, it's coming, and it'll be a free upgrade. So very, very nice bit of news for KeyPro Ultra. These are the media for Scion, KeyPro Quad, and KeyPro Ultra. It's from 256 to 1 terabyte. In November at Interby, we introduced the PAC-Adapt CFast to be able to use CFast cards in the Scion camera. We have a new adapter called the PAC-Adapt eSATA for the KeyPro Ultra and KeyPro Quad. So what this does is it has a standard eSATA connector on it. So it allows you to plug in external eSATA RAIDs or eSATA drives to your KeyPro Ultra. Really, really nice. And a ridiculous amount of storage potential. So we support up to 16 terabyte volumes on each one. So you can install 2 of these in one Keeper Ultra and basically have 32 terabytes of storage with rollover, which we calculated was like at the highest Ultra HD 60 setting was like 8 or 10 hours of recording or something. It's just ridiculous. But this has been a lot of customer request for this kind of option for storage on KeyPro Ultra. And with the exFAT file system support, makes it even more attractive to a wider audience. It is a ridiculous price of $99. Oh, it should have been $299. I forgot to put the 2. No, it's $99. That's available next month. We have 8K 60p in our booth. Our friends at a company called Keisoku in Japan, KG, sent us a $120,000 Sharp 85-inch 8K monitor, and I was on the floor in a fetal position as it was being hung on the wall, ready to call the insurance company, but it made it on the wall, everything was cool. It's driven by 4 KeyPro Ultras. It's an integration from KG, locked together from this box that they have called the KRS 8K, and it's delivering stunning 8K 60p images. I encourage you to come by our booth and check this out. It's just kind of ridiculous. This integration with the KeyPro Ultra and their box has actually been adopted by NHK in Japan. So NHK is taking this system around Japan and around the world to promote promote 8K. So really, really cool. Definitely worth seeing. Just sort of stand there and stare at the screen. It's quite beautiful. We have new desktop software for our Kona, IO, and TTAP products that has compatibility with the latest versions of Media Composer, latest versions of Creative Cloud, new DNxHR codec for better performance, and we have OpenGL support in 64-bit versions of the application, which improves performance when doing higher frame rate and larger resolution work with our control room software. That is a free upgrade for Mac and Windows. It'll be available next month. And the big thing about the show is IP video, of course. And as you all know, there are industry alliances, several of them across a range of companies in the industry. We're a founding member of AIMS, we're a member of Aspen, we're a member of Sony IP Live, and we're a partner in NDI. So AJA has been focusing behind the scenes quite a bit on IP video. At a very high level with our engineering departments, we've been engaging with these industry alliances and very high-end clients to understand their needs, understand where IP video is headed, and how could we help. So what does that mean? I'm proud to introduce our first IP video product, the Kona IP. It's an IP video I/O card. And let's talk about it a little bit. It's a multi-channel I/O card, obviously for IP video and audio. It has wide application compatibility because it's a Kona, which, not too egotistical to say, I think Kona is the leading I/O card in the industry. It's used across the spectrum of the industry by partners and end users. Initially, we have SMPTE 2022-6 support, and I'll talk about our roadmap for more. It has Windows and Linux compatibility. A quick look at the connectivity, pretty straightforward because it's IP video. There's an HDMI output on it, which is really nice if you have to monitor locally but have IP video traveling distance. 2 SFP cages, which I'll talk about, a reference input, and it is an 8-lane PCIe 2.0 card. Those SFP cages take standard off-the-shelf 10 gig E SFP Plus modules. So these can be purchased off Amazon or any integrator. Standard stuff, nothing proprietary going on. And for optimal performance, we have whitelisted a few models initially from those 2 companies and more on the way. And they're all readily available anywhere. So our roadmap, as we've been engaging these industry groups and customers and understanding where IP video is headed, there is a roadmap, a desired roadmap. 2022-6 being uncompressed is the easiest to implement today, so we have a lot of customers doing that on 10 gig. As IP video finds its way and customers choose which route they want to go, we will be there because the card is built to be extensible and flexible and programmable. So when we have a roadmap for VSF TR04, 3, Aspen, Sony, IP Live, and more, as well as codecs like JPEG 2000 and other codecs as well. This will all be announced soon in terms of specifics and upgrade plans as that roadmap starts to gel. Very simple. It's IP video instead of video I/O. So it just couldn't be easier. Easy for me to say. Our engineers have been doubled over in pain for 6 months, but they've worked it out. Compatible applications. So because it's a Kona, it has a wide range of software compatibility, from Avid to Creative Cloud from Adobe, Sony, all the things up there, including our own software, Control Room and Control Panel. So it's designed to just be a Kona, just with IP video instead of baseband. And we have an architecture that our developer partners use called NTV2. That's in our SDK, and this is an NTV2 card as well. So any of our customers, and right now we're sort of taking over the OEM space by providing our cards to companies that use them in their solutions. If they've already done work with our cards, which so many companies have, they just take Kona IP and plug it in. It's either going to work or they have to do a very little amount of work to suddenly have an IP video infrastructure. So that's been very attractive to a number of our partners, like Ventus, who is showing their product, their Kona IP-based solution in our booth, running around to other Kona IPs in the booth. Their CEO had a nice statement of support for us. Grass Valley, same deal. They're using Kona IP with their EDIUS system. Really nice. EDIUS, as you know, is very, very popular. Sony, because we're part of IP Live, Sony is very happy that Kona IP will be an integral part of IP Live, enabling their customers, our mutual customers. Avid, on Media Composer and Pro Tools, has integrated Kona IP. And our friends at Adobe. And because it's a Kona, it's just going to use AJA's really respected software plugins for a lot of these applications and just work. So Kona IP is $2,495, available next month. It's real, and it's actually across the show, underneath the hood of a lot of companies here. Like I said, we've been working really, really hard on IP video for a long time, and as engaging industry groups early on and engaging customers early on. And I think we have a best-of-breed IP video product that's really going to help bridge existing workflows to the new IP-based world that's upon us. And we're not going to stop there. IP video, we're showing a tech preview, which means we're not ready to ship. We don't have pricing and ship dates, but we want to talk about it. We've done this before with some of our other products. This is essentially an IP video to HDMI mini converter, little thing that has a JPEG 2000 decoder in it, so it can take IP video over 1 gig connection and decode it and display it. This will be a first of a family of products with different connectivity, receivers, transmitters, probably different codecs, different technologies, but we just sort of want to say, hey, we're taking IP video seriously, and there's going to be a lot more info coming soon. And we're in the same place we've always been, in the South Hall, the lower. You walk in the front door on the left and keep walking, and you will get to AJA at SL2505. We have a beautiful booth. It's redesigned. Everything is on display. Really, really nice. Everything's working. So definitely come on down and check out everything that's the booth has to offer. People are snickering about that slide. Was something going on? I have to check that later. As I was talking about partnerships, AJA is very partner-centric, and we always have been. It's one of the keys to our success. And these are just a few of the places that AJA is around the show. But some pretty cool stuff. Codex is showing a VR demo using multiple of our Corvid 88 cards. Spectracal and Vitek we've provided kind of a missing link in their HDR story with our Hi-Fi 4K. We have beta firmware that they're using that has sort of the missing handshake between SDI and HDMI for HDR displays. Kona IP will be running on Media Composer in the Avid booth. Kona IP will be in the Sony booth, running IP as part of IP Live, and Kona IP will be in the Arista booth as part of the Ames Alliance in an interop demo, and other places as well. So, from VR to HDR to IP video to we're there. We have a little party on Tuesday night. Hopefully you can all make it. If you were there last year, it's at the same club, beautiful club called Dre's at the Cromwell Hotel. Really good time, so hopefully you can make it. So we had 23 product announcements here. Some of them I mercifully removed from this presentation, like we have a lot of news for our developers, Corvid versions and other things. But again, if you think about the first slide that I showed and how much we've done over this past year, and here's another bunch of stuff, and we're not slowing down. There's going to be more and more and more and more things that really fill in a lot of holes in the industry. So very busy NAB, and will be a very busy year as well. So thanks for taking the time this morning, and we'll see you at the show.